Good early evening, everybody. Wonder if you can hear me yet or not. Let me clear my throat 1 second. Hope everybody's doing really well tonight. I've had a pretty good week myself. Took a little time off from visiting mom. I needed a little bit of a break. But I've had that break, and now it's time to visit her again tomorrow. So I'm gonna say hi to her. She's gonna be watching this show. So hi, Mom. Good to see you. Hopefully you're feeling well. We've got some Girl World rookies coming in tonight. We've got Jaebae. I guess I don't know if you call him a Girl World rookie so much with Jaebae. She's more of an influencer. Hasn't quite joined the ranks of Girl World. But then we do have somebody who very much does seem to be trying to join the ranks of Girl World. And that is Rosee. QuirkyloveRosee. She seems to be trying to make the join in. But let me check out the chat. Let me see what's going on with you folks real quick. All right. Yeah, let's say hi. Nutty, welcome in. Hopefully you folks can hear me over the music. Docta see y'all a little bit. Yes, everyone, please leave a like if you're enjoying the show, and be sure to click that sub button if you haven't already. If you would like to be my 800th sub for the third time, because I got knocked back down below 800 again. If you want to be my third 800 sub, go ahead and click that sub button. You might be it. Elizu, what's up, Gutter Sleuts? Welcome in, Elizu. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're staying out of trouble. Hippie Easter. Hey, y'all. Hippie Easter. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I know, Hippie Easter, you mentioned that your mom was moving to an assisted living apartment. And from what you told me, it sounds really nice. So I'm really happy that she's doing well there. In fact, starting a little bit early tonight, I'll talk for a minute about mom for a second, just real quick. Not even about her so much, just about assisted living and retirement homes and all that. And some are definitely better than others. So if you could get her in a good one, I think she'll be very happy. You know, they're not all as bad as people make them out to be. Welcome in, Jarella. Driving home, no problem, no problem. Glad you can make it though, at least, right? Glad you can make the live. Got a cool new picture. Welcome in, Fallen Angel, my subscriber. Fallen Angel, one of my premier founding members there. Hello, good to see you this evening. Hannah Stone, welcome in. Good evening, Hannah. Hopefully you're having a good night. Hello, everyone. Nutty, good to see you again. Welcome in, everybody. All right. But yeah, so we've got some fun videos tonight. We're going to catch up on Foodie just a little bit. Not too much going on with her. Her mukbanging is out of control. Her feeding is out of control. I even mentioned that I wanted to talk a little bit more about putting on healthy weight, not just talking about taking off fat loss. Because I always talk about fat loss because myself, I always tend to be overweight. I always struggle with my weight. I've been keeping it down lately. But I know a lot of people are in the opposite situation, or actually you could be in a situation where you really need to do both, like where I am, where you need to lose fat and put on some healthy weight. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. Going to try to concentrate. Oh, perfect timing. Fiona's mom. Hello, good to see you, Fiona's mom. Hopefully you're doing okay. Fiona's mom is somebody I know she's mentioned. She's been struggling to keep the healthy weight on. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So yeah, welcome in, everybody, and welcome into all the lurkers. Any first-time viewers, always glad to have you. Welcome in. Make yourself welcome. Feel free to introduce yourself, or if you'd like just to lurk, that's appreciated as well. Anybody watching the replay, thank you very much. Your comment is always appreciated. Let me know what you think of the show, if you have a comment or an opinion. Welcome in, Detective Coaches. I got your message about you're shutting down your Instagram. So yeah, if I need to get you a message, I'll shoot you an email out there. Okay, so let's get started early, right? I've got so much to cover tonight. Let's get started with just a little bit of Foodie, And then we're going to switch over to our newest person of the evening. And I want to introduce this like I always do. Before I go to this person, let me just say a little bit. I don't like to attack anybody. You folks know that. So I'm not going to obviously attack anybody. Jaebae, I'm going to criticize pretty strongly because Jaebae is very entitled and obnoxious. Rosee, I'm just going to do a reaction. I even said to her in her chat. So Rosee, if you're listening, hopefully you're listening to the whole show. I'm going to react to a video that she did. I'm going to try to be fair, going to try to be honest, and that's, try to be respectful. But I do know that Rosee has been very much girl world adjacent. Allegedly, she's been talking to ALR. I don't know if that's true or not, or just a rumor. But I know she's also been talking about Foodie and people like that. So she's been doing her own reactions, or at least to an extent. And she's also been putting out a lot of content that can only really be described as feeder bait. I'm not going to go over the actual videos because I don't have an edit of it. But we could just go through some of her streams at random. She's actually doing a live stream right now. If you rewind it, you could see her eating like 3 pounds of steak all at once. And I guess steak is not unhealthy by itself, but eat 3 pounds of steak at a time, it's unhealthy. So I'd call that feeder bait. She did a whole big thing about how she escaped the feeder lifestyle. She did this whole big interview about it. But I'm not sure if she escaped it because she's eating massive quantities of food on camera. And if that's just how she eats, that's some very not ordered eating. I'm so crazy with the YouTube language now, right? They got me doing it. But she's not eating in a healthy way, if that's what she's doing. But anyway, she did a video talking about her own disordered eating. I wasn't supposed to say that word. All right, whatever. It's too late now. But she did a video about it, talking about her own disordered eating patterns and her own history with that. And I don't want to be unfair, so I want to listen to her video before I get too much further into my reaction to Rosee. Jaebae, we're going to cover some of her content. She's put out some material more recently on Instagram, which I found, which is pretty interesting. Glitter and Lasers, given a whole big rundown and everything. Glitter and Lasers is getting her 3rd surgery. She's doing the 3rd liposuction. Now this time it's going to be on her arms. I am somebody who does not oppose cosmetic surgery on principle, but I think you should always try to be safe about it. I think that especially if you're an influencer and you're going to talk about it, I think you should try to do it safely. And the 40 pounds approximately she had removed, or 30 pounds approximately she had removed of body fat in the 2 liposuction surgeries she had already, she's already gained all that back plus some more. She's even said so much. I don't know if it's still, the post is still up, but she said that she got rid of her scale because it was depressing seeing how she gained back all the weight, and she didn't want to focus on that. She wanted to focus on the non-scale victories, like how her clothes were fitting better despite her weight going back up. So yeah. So that's the situation with Glitter. She's about to get her 3rd surgery, and I have a special episode planned. This is my big promotion for it. Next Saturday, not this upcoming Saturday, the one after, is going to be my Glitter and Lasers special, where I'm going to react to the Glitter and Lasers Medical Detectives episode, where she talks about her history with lipedema. I always forget how to pronounce it. And she just does her whole story and about how the doctors didn't want to help her and how they weren't fair to her and how they mistreated her. And they just told her she was fat. And that was all that was wrong with her, was that she was fat and she needed to eat better. And, they gave her the runaround, and she couldn't get any real help until she found this lipedema center who offered her liposuction. And not until she was offered liposuction was her world changed. Because prior to that, she thought that she just had to live with this horrible, crippling pain, despite the years of videos of her going on vacations and telling the haters to suck it and how happy she is and how great she feels. In fact, she's been in crippling pain the whole time. She's been doing all these extensive treatments for her illness off camera, just hasn't shown it to us. Whole big story about it. So I'm going to be covering all that on Saturday. The most unreliable narrator in the biz, Glitter and Lasers, does over an hour of unreliable narration about her medical history. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so let's get off to the actual video now that I've given the introduction for the night. And then I'm going to say hi to a few more people in the chat, and then we're going to really kick it off. But yes, first off, we've got an edit on Foodie. Let me post the channel it's from. Or actually, put the bumper real quick while I do this. Actually, put on Foodie real quick since we're doing Foodie. Since we're covering Foodie. And this is from one of my favorite clip channels. It's a smaller channel, Kelly. Or I'm trying to think of emoji of a rose, and then Kelly. Yeah, so welcome into any lurkers, any chatters, anybody watching the replay, anybody here for the first time as well. Always trying to remember how to say that properly. So let's get this full size. Let's play it. Oh, and I also found a way to adjust the volume on the windows. So if Instagram is too loud today, hopefully I'll be able to fix that, because last time it was blowing my eardrums out. All right, so Foodie got an email from a Beezer saying let me say hi to the chat real quick. Let me see anybody else who's come in. Hey, Nirvana, good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, Rosee's a big gal, needs that. Oh, Jarella, I don't even think it matters. That's what frustrates me the most. If I really thought it mattered, like I would get an extra 1,000 views if I spoke differently, they might be able to get me to do it. But I don't even think it matters. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or what, but it's a good time to be a chicken, I guess. Yeah, we're gonna do a special on a Saturday. I hope you like it. All right. So yeah, so let's get started here with some Foodie to begin. So Foodie got an email from a Beezer saying she's been talking to Salah for a year. Salah was... Oh, let me go back so I can finish reading it. Salah was not in chat. And then all of a sudden he shows up as she read it, and then he left after she was done. I think this has to do with all of her binging and being out so late at night. What do you think? True or troll? So yeah, I'm going to let Foodie talk and then we'll react to it. And if anybody has anything they want to add, because I know this is already from a few days ago, this is already kind of old news for some of you folks who are, who are always up to date with the latest stuff. So if you want to add your own opinions, your own conspiracy theories, I'm always down to hear those.
Okay, Cynthia, keep dreaming, bitch. Yeah, okay, personal. I threw your email in I blocked you and threw your email in the spam junk folder where it belongs. Yeah, somebody emailed me and they're like, a long email, like a novel. They're like, I didn't want to tell you this before, but I've been talking to your husband very personal and explicit things.
I love how Foodie is so dismissive, and she's acting like, oh well, this is no big deal. Instead of maybe thinking, this is kind of embarrassing. Maybe I don't want to talk about this. But we should also point out that Foodie has a history of ignoring emails from Beezers who are actually trying to help her. The most prominent one is the origin of her feud with FFG. Most of you are aware, but for anybody who's not, FFG sent Foodie an email when she was first with Natter saying, hey, I know some people who know some people, and we apparently this guy, Natter, he's no good. Oh, I got to be careful what I call him because he's going to try to strike the channel, but whatever. Anyway, apparently she said he's no good, and Foodie, instead of taking the advice, goes on her channel and rips into FFG, makes fun of her, calls her name, says she's no good, says she's jealous. Typical Foodie stuff. And turns out FFG was right. So let's hear what this one sent in the email. Was this person correct? Were they making it up? Let's hear a little more.
Right, babe? We laughed.
Welcome in, Doc. Good to see you. Once a cheater, always a cheater. For the most part.
And the email is like, I could probably get it and read it if you want. It's like, yeah, sure.
It might be a troll. Yes, that's true. But why is she so confident? Exactly. Why would she be so confident it's a troll when not only does Foodie have a history of ignoring advice that's legit, but Salah has a history of cheating on her. Right? Like, and I don't mean like he has a history like, 20 years ago he cheated. I mean like just barely a year ago he cheated the minute she went to Canada. So for her to be so confident that it's a troll, get out of here, Foodie. So that would also explain, like Kelly here is saying, how could she be so sure? That's why I think she's been spiraling out of control lately. I agree with that. That makes sense because Foodie's eating has been out of control.
Troll. Nobody can beat him up.
It's messed up. YouTube is a bad platform in that sense. And nobody could beat up Salah.
Yeah. All right, personal.
I said I was looking for videos of people out of shape working out, but so if Salah wants to make me some, I'd appreciate it. I can make some for myself too, to be fair at this point.
I hope you got your fun kicks for the day.
Welcome
I
in,
hope
Monkey
you
Mac.
know that
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Several minutes it took you to think and write that email, you'll never get back in your life. All right, I found the email. All right, buckle in. Hey, babe.
Thanking Teardrop.
I'm reading the email. It says, important. I'm sorry, from personal. Hi, Chantel.
What did she say? Important from Dot? Dot, did you send the email? You the one trolling Foodie? Because if you are, I think it's funny.
Sorry for emailing you about this.
I know she didn't say Dot.
But it is the only way I could think to protect my identity. I know you will be very mad at me, and I apologize for what I'm going to tell you. I don't even know who you are. Like, I have been mostly a silent watcher for years, and I've only been in chat.
Make sure to take care of yourself, monkey.
Times. I've been talking to Salah off and on for
Hey, welcome in, Jamie. Good to see you tonight.
We only
Hopefully
chatted
you're doing
through
well.
the disappearing messages, so unfortunately I unfortunately have nothing to show you as proof.
We only chat through disappearing messages, so I have nothing to show you as proof. You could, even with disappearing messages, she could have taken some screenshots. So that's a mark against her.
The only thing I can say is it was from an account where the profile picture was of, I think, Bruce Lee or some other guy in a fighting stance. Oh no, that's a lot of, like, anybody who saw his Instagram could say that.
Foodie loves to play the villain.
He doesn't even have Instagram anymore. I don't really want to show you what was said. It is embarrassing, as we had very intimate conversations and exchanged photos. Sounds like a friggin' 70-year-old.
I think this is pretty funny in a sense, because this sounds exactly like what Salah did in the past. So it is possible to troll, but it is absolutely possible it's for real.
It sounds like a boomer who has no idea how to, like...
Fantastic, Jamie!
Like, how this would go, like,
Woohoo!
DMing would go. Do you know what I mean? Frick?
That is awesome, awesome fat loss. You're doing great.
During our last exchange 2 weeks ago,
welcome in, Save It Nation.
And
Good
I
to
am
see
worried
you.
that he will out my personal information. In December, he wanted me to visit during your trip to Canada. I could not afford that.
Welcome in, Rose Storm. Good to see you.
Also,
Rose Storm Reacts has an amazing channel herself. Definitely be sure to check her out.
You ended up having a shorter trip. I'm so sorry to tell you this way.
Rose,
I feel guilty for having spoken to him
Rose's
that
link.
way
You're
in
always
the
welcome
first place.
to.
He reached out to me, and I shouldn't have let the conversations get out of control. I'm very sorry for my part in this. I am still a fan, and I do feel a lot of guilt for stepping into your marriage. I won't tell you what I think you should do, but I will say that Salah is very interested in having children and meeting other women. If you have any questions, please let me know.
He'll never be faithful to you. If you have any self-respect, you would leave. That's what Kelly's saying, and I agree with Kelly here. I think that Salah and Foodie is totally a fake relationship. So on one hand, I'm like, well, Salah, how are you going to cheat on Foodie like that? You know, she takes care of you. But on the other hand, it's a fake relationship. They don't have any real love, right? So if she takes care of him, she's only taking care of him like an employee, and you don't have to be faithful to your boss, right? That's like a work relationship. That's different.
Again, I am very sorry.
Unless you're having sex with your boss, but they're not having sex, so who cares, right? She's the Karen of the year.
Alrighty then. That's nice. You are an idiot.
I think that's a good point, Nirvana. I think Foodie feels validated. She likes that.
Hello. I know, another...
All right, so let me put up the bumper, and then we're going to go to a different video real quick. And I got one more quick Foodie one we're going to do. We're just going to start off with the Foodie. Or actually, I think we should just go to Rosee, and then we'll do... I got another Foodie video. We'll split them up. Let me do Rosee, actually. Because I think the Rosee video is really interesting. and then we're gonna do the foodie video after that. I mean, I think they're both interesting, to be fair, but I really want to cover this Rosee video first because I think this is the newest stuff, in my opinion. This is the hot new subject, and it really talks a lot about health and obesity and about her, you know, all that kind of thing. So let's hear what she has to say. She allegedly escaped feederism, and this is a new video she just put up. We're gonna raw dog the actual video. She's been doing videos recently where she eats like 3 pounds of steak on camera during her live streams. It's feeder bait, whether she wants to acknowledge it or not. It is, and if she says it's not, that's just how she eats, then she eats then she has disordered eating. She's binging on camera, and for views, for money. She gets donations while she binges. So I don't see what's so good about it. I don't see why people are praising that. But yeah, let's watch what she has to say here. And this is why I think she's one of Girl World's newest rookies. And yes, Foodie gets no dick, and she really wants it too. She's not like, you know, some, you know, it's not like she has a bunch of hobbies and she's an older woman. She's, you know, got kids to take care of. She sees herself as a young single woman. She wants to be seen as desirable by men. And the fact that she is not really drives her crazy.
Times when I initially kind of stopped vlogging that
Oh, I guess let's go back to the beginning.
Hi, welcome to me.
And also want to make clear, I have no prior issues with Rosee, so this is just a totally neutral reaction. If I like what I hear, I'm going to say it. If I don't like what I hear, I'm going to say it. So let's see what she has to say.
I don't even know where to start. It's been a very long time since I vlogged. There were a few times when I initially kind of stopped vlogging.
That's very possible.
Attempted. I filmed some stuff. I think it's all still in my phone. I haven't even looked back on it. But it's been months.
Well, I mean, how much jewelry? Are you like a rapper?
It.
Or you just wear like a little, you know, like little earrings or something? I mean, it's your jewelry. Wear what you want, as long as it's not, you know, crazy gaudy or something, right? As long as it's not like you know, don't set yourself up to get robbed like those rappers and the basketball players with their $20,000 watches.
I haven't said hi, welcome to me in so long because I've been avoiding me. You know, I've been doing lives a lot.
Rosee and Jaebae do have a similar look.
In terms of the deeper stuff, in terms of my weight loss, in terms of my health, a while ago, I kind of just...
In terms of her weight loss and in terms of her health, let me also point this out. Rosee allegedly lost 100 pounds 8 months ago. She claims to have lost 100 pounds 8 months ago. I didn't actually see a weigh-in, so I'm hesitant to believe it. I didn't really see a lot of before and after pictures that were convincing. She doesn't look to be 100 pounds heavier than she was when she claimed to have been down 100 pounds. But she doesn't really show a lot of full body pictures. So again, she's not really clear about her weight. And if she has provided more information that I'm not aware of, my apologies. But from what I've seen, she has not really been clear about her weight. So we can only go by what we're seeing. But she looks pretty darn big. And from the way she's eating, she's only going to get bigger.
Lied down and never got back up. And I'm still there. And I'm going to film this.
I haven't seen enough to say for sure yet, but everybody's entitled to their opinion.
I'm obviously very nervous too.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm just
going to get like person.
And in the interest of full disclosure, I almost got blocked too. When one of her mods found out I was a reactor, they were like almost ready to block me until I said, look, I'm not trying to attack anybody. I'm just here to see what's up. You know, like I'm going to call it like I see it. I'm not here to attack anybody. I'm not here to defend anybody. I'm just here to see what I see. And then that was that. So yeah, I don't have it. Like I said, I don't have any problem with Rosee. I don't have any special favoritism toward her either. So I think I'm pretty about as neutral as anybody could be on this subject.
Personal and pretty deep. So if I cry, I'm sorry. I'm not planning on it, but I probably will, to be honest. Before I get into any of that, I want to share some good news.
That's kind of how I feel too.
Next week, I think today's like Wednesday or Thursday. I think it's Wednesday. Next week, On the 10th, I'm starting my new job. I did find a remote job, got hired, decent pay. It's 100% remote. I'm very excited. I have my like preliminary meeting tomorrow. It's like an hour meeting to like meet my trainer and whoever decides to show up.
So meaning to meet her trainer, does she mean at her new job or does she mean like a personal trainer? Because either way, I guess that's good.
So I'm excited to have
this video is taking a little while to get started, but I previewed some of it and it does get more interesting. I don't know how much longer it's going to take, but let me skip forward a little bit because she starts talking about her weight and everything like that in a minute.
Completely fallen off.
Here we go. Here we go. All right.
The truth is, I think I kind of accidentally pinned myself into an unhealthy dynamic with my lives and my eating. I have completely fallen off the wagon, and I've been very upfront about it in my lives. I've not tried to hide anything about that.
See, now here's she says I've fallen off the wagon. I'm not trying to hide anything. On one hand, okay, that's a fair way to describe it, but there's a difference between not hiding anything and monetizing yourself binging for content. She's binging on food and then monetizing it. She's doing like 2-hour lives and she spends an hour of them just eating. And when I say eating, I mean eating large quantities of food, thousands and thousands of calories at a time. So I think she's monetizing some unhealthy behavior, and I'm not saying she needs to be off YouTube or anything like that, but let's call it for what it is.
Because I didn't want to completely disappear, but I don't like who I've been in recent months because I know that I have fully fallen into my food addiction.
That's that's going to be a big club.
And I can list all these excuses and I can list all of these things and say all of these reasons.
I can believe that.
And I might discuss some of them because I think there are people that can relate to it. But as I said in my weight loss video, the one where I reached 100 pounds down, I'm down 102 pounds.
All right, so here's where she says she was down 102 pounds. Without a weigh-in on a scale, without some full body before and after pictures, it's hard to see the 100 pounds. Like, I'm not really seeing it in the face and the upper body here.
I'm so excited, but I can feel that self-saboteur deep down, feeling uncomfortable.
I'm sorry to hear that, Fallen Angel.
I'm just gonna have to...
That's frustrating.
Not let that part of me win. This entire new journey that I'm on is all about loving myself enough to understand how to...
They're always on health journeys.
...combat the toxicity within myself. I could feel this thing bubbling under the surface.
Rejected by the big girls club.
And I almost predicted this because I fell back into one of my cycles, one of my patterns, and go out and buy a lottery ticket, Rosee, because nobody could have seen that you were going to gain the weight back. But did you ever actually lose the weight? That's my question. Did she ever actually lose that 100 pounds? But if she did lose that 100 pounds and she gained it back in 8 months, that's a lot of weight to gain back in 8 months. Like, I don't care how you slice it. 100 pounds in 8 months is a lot for anybody. So, Rosee, what are you doing to yourself? I mean, I'm not trying to come down on you too hard, but just today you made another video of yourself, just binging out on camera again. You're making these regular videos of you binging on camera. And I can only imagine that you binge even worse when the camera's off. Embarrassed about it because I'm so self-aware of it. I'm just trying to sit here and like be proud of myself and just let myself enjoy this win. This is a win. This is a good thing. It's going to be interesting to see how the next couple days go because something like this could absolutely trigger me, which is bizarre. I know.
Losing 100 pounds could trigger her, she says. I mean, and to be fair, like somebody in the chat said, she looks like she's, compared to this video, she does look a little bit heavier. So I would agree maybe 40, 50 pounds at most, but definitely not 100.
I know. But that's kind of the name of the game, isn't it?
Your outfit looks a little bit looser.
This whole addiction I have, this whole life I've lived is a little bizarre. I wish that self-awareness was enough to get myself to stop repeating my patterns and my cycles. I'm going to
take a better look at her arms next time.
And it's just not. I don't understand this disconnect I've had my whole life. I've done so much therapy.
Let's speed it up just a little bit.
That when I'm in therapy nowadays, I just get frustrated because I feel like I'm going in circles.
Okay, now here's something she says that I think makes sense, actually. She says that she feels like she's had so much therapy that now she's just going in circles in therapy. And I can agree with that. Because what could the therapist possibly be telling her at this point that she doesn't already know? The therapist, if they're a good therapist, is going to tell her, Rosee, you need to confront your food addiction. You need to figure out some way to address it. Whatever it is, you need to stop doing the on-camera eating. You can't use that as a source of income because that's just a way to justify overeating. Any good therapist is going to be straight up with her and tell her that she's throwing away her health and her future and her happiness for her food addiction and to make a few bucks mukbanging on camera for some degenerate feeder men. And that's right. I criticize the men too. I'm not saying that they're okay here. These guys are just as disgusting.
And that's another thing that contributed to this was I lost my insurance a few months ago, 2, 3, 4 months ago. Honestly, I don't remember what month it was. And
good point, Jamie.
Meant I lost access to my therapy.
Almost not every night, but like 4 nights a week. 4 nights a week.
And then
she eats 3 pounds of steak off a cutting board. She uses a cutting board to eat like 3 pounds of steak and like 2 potatoes. And she broke her cutting board the other day, so now she's back to using a plate, and she can barely even fit the food on the plate. There's so much.
I've been taking care of my health. I haven't been taking my medication. I haven't been taking care of myself, and I feel so defeated.
That's a good point, Nirvana. You gotta make some real attempts.
The answers. I logically know what I need to do. I've done it before.
So Rosee, here, I think Rosee is an interesting mix of self-awareness and self-delusion, because she was so deluded in the beginning, I thought, and here now she sounds kind of self-aware. But what are you going to do about it, Rosee? You talk the talk here about how you're not doing what you need to, but then you're going on camera tonight and eating 3 pounds of steak followed by a cupcake.
But I don't know how to be consistent. I've never known how to do that.
Don't know how to be consistent. Yes, you do. You eat 4 pounds of steak every video. What's more consistent than that?
And I've recently been thinking about this because I've been behaving like an addict recently.
She's very consistent. She always eats at least 3 pounds of meat.
Everyone in my life. Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed.
Hannah, you're just dead on here. Rosee's addiction is out of control. She's looking for ways to enable her addiction longer. That's all she's looking for. She's looking, this whole job search of hers, like you said, is just a way for her to get some health care so that she can have more time and money to feed her food addiction. I really believe that. Yeah, they need hobbies, a purpose to live, something healthy. And not just chasing random men either. Chasing random men is not a good hobby. Chasing hookups on the internet is not a healthy hobby. No disrespect to anybody if you do that, but I don't think that's a healthy hobby. You know, find a good guy and see him regularly.
For so long, I've always said that I don't feel like I'm a victim, and I don't want to be, and I'm not in a victim mindset. But that's where I feel like some of my self-awareness has been lacking.
There's no money in losing 5-10 pounds.
Because it's maybe not in my life, maybe not
compared
in
to
my
gaining
past traumas, I don't feel that way, but in my current moment when it comes to food, when it comes to this
Good
addiction
point.
that I have.
Good point. She's
I
not
think I am in
implementing
a
what she
victim
learns.
mindset. Because I feel powerless and because I've given in, and I'm normally the kind of person
point,
that
Nutty.
works very hard to get back up.
She's saying, Rosee, you're talking the talk, but you gotta walk the walk. And when you're literally eating pounds and pounds of meat and sweets and drinks on camera, you're doing the feeder content on camera. You're back into the feeder lifestyle. Maybe you're not doing the porn, but you're doing free feeder content.
When I get knocked down, and I've just been staying down. I've been hiding in a hole. I've been binge watching TV shows.
Exactly. 4 pounds of it.
I have been participating
Maybe she gets a bulk
in communities
discount
online that I know aren't good for me. And I do it anyway. And I like to be snarky sometimes and like a part of the tea, and like I don't think there's necessarily things wrong with that, but
only one package
without
without
a
a
subject matter to be
bag of cheese mixed
something
in.
that is in a way a projection of myself, that's inherently a problem, right? That logically makes sense.
Fallen Angel, Rosee, I don't know how Rosee does it, but she has a place. I think it's her mom's house. She lives there with her brother. I'm not going to try to criticize her for her financials. I don't know her full situation, but I do know this. She's not hard up for money. She's doing pretty well financially. She can certainly afford plenty of good food.
To me. So when I recently found myself in these like weird tit for tat things that I didn't necessarily ask for, but that I engaged in.
I mean, it doesn't look like fancy steak, but it is decent. Doesn't look terrible. It looks okay.
How is that benefiting me? How is that helping me?
That actually, I could believe that.
Not.
I could believe that. And people do send her money on YouTube.
Me. It's making me feel better because my life has been sucking. And that...
All right, so let's skip forward a little bit because we don't need to watch 20 freaking minutes of this. Let's skip forward let's skip forward a chunk.
And I've come a good long way from my mental health from when I was younger, right? And who I currently am today. And it is exhausting to just realize how much more I have to go and the work that needs to be done.
And just to inform anybody, I watched most of this video the other day. So whatever we missed, we didn't miss much. There's no big revelations in the middle.
From current versions of me, because I've changed a lot from how I presented.
Steak's good. I like steak.
In my behaviors, I guess, when I was younger.
Wish Rosee would save some for us.
I don't trust people. I don't talk to many people on like a very...
She doesn't trust people. She doesn't talk to many people. She has 200 people in her chat that she talks to every night regularly. Now, I'm not saying that she opens up to them or even that she should, but don't say that you don't talk to people. You don't trust people. You open up at least somewhat to these people, unless you're lying to them. If you're lying to all of them, that's kind of a different problem. But I mean, you seem to open up to most of your chat. I mean, if you didn't open up, why would you have to ban so many people? If you had a thick skin and you didn't open up to people, then you wouldn't need to ban everybody who criticizes you. So I'm not so sure about the veracity of that prior statement.
Deep level, because I don't trust people. Having reaction channels dox my address and send...
Dox her address. Okay, now we're getting into the reaction channels doxing her address. Do you have any receipts, as people in girl world like to say? You got any receipts for that, Rosee?
Packages to my house and stalk my every move.
Stalking your every move. Okay.
Several people try to infiltrate my community.
People trying to infiltrate her community. Hold on a second now. Now this is getting juicy. Infiltrate her community. What is she suggesting? Is she saying that people have tried to watch her video without her permission? I mean, like, what is she trying to suggest? Infiltrated her community. What does that even mean? That people she doesn't like are watching her videos? Is that what that means? Because that doesn't mean anything.
Really, has like fucked with me in a way where I can't even like trust genuine engagement a lot of the time. And I'm afraid to make friends.
Afraid to make friends.
I isolate a lot. And that
Isolate a lot. You're on the internet all day, every day.
has been fueling a lot of these behaviors and triggering them. And I have to work on letting that go and understand that I don't have things to hide, and that it is okay to trust people, and that not everyone is out to hurt you.
What does she mean everybody's out to hurt her? What is this? What is her fear? What is her fear of? It sounds like an irrational fear. People are infiltrating my community and I can't trust people because they want to hurt me. What is this fear of? It's just people are sending stuff to her house and doxing her. Do you have any receipts for any of this, Rosee? Do you have any evidence for any of this stuff? Because this all sounds very sus. This sounds almost paranoid. This sounds like paranoia. That's what it sounds like.
You know? So
she doxed her own
the plan
self.
moving
What a
forward,
surprise.
like I was saying
What a
earlier,
surprise.
is the baby steps.
And of course she's going to blame the
I need
quote
to
trolls.
Stop eating it. I wish I could block DoorDash off my phone. Jesus Christ.
You can block DoorDash off your phone. You can. I mean, you just delete the app and then you don't download it again. That's how you block it off your phone. It's not that hard.
You guys, you want to know something really stupid? For months, I would just delete DoorDash off my app off
So she knows how to delete it. Okay, what's the problem, Rosee?
my phone every time I didn't want to use it, and like the next day I would re-download it, and then I would delete it again, and then like a day or two later I would re-download it, and I refused to pay for Dash Pass for a while because I was like, then I'll just have excuses to keep using it.
This woman is so desperate to find an external solution to her problems. You can't delete DoorDash to stop you from overeating. Because even if you did delete the app, you could still cook at home. Look at Foodie. When Foodie cooks at home, she makes even worse food than when she orders out. When she orders out, she gets like a McDonald's hamburgers and fries. When she cooks at home, she makes like 4 things of ramen noodles with cream and cheese. And her home cooking is worse than the DoorDash. So I don't know what you're talking about, Rosee.
So I ended up spending
Don't
extra
blame
money
DoorDash.
for months thinking that it was helping me order out less, when it was just this delusional spiral I was going down.
That's a good idea. Meet some actual people.
And then I recently was just like, oh, fuck it. Just
Yes.
get the DoorDash pass. You're spending the money anyway. So I did. And that was one of the first moments I was kind of like, oh,
I like that.
this is a problem.
She does talk a lot and say very little. That's nothing about Rosee. She doesn't. She keeps talking about her food addiction and her spiraling and her triggering and all this. At what point does she say, I have to toughen up a little bit? I have to stop giving in to all my cravings. I have to go to bed hungry some nights. I have to skip a meal on occasion. I need to go on and do a stream where I don't eat 4 pounds of steak. These are just the compromises that she's going to have to make. She can't expect to be like, Foodie lives in this fantasy land where she thinks she can eat, 10,000 calories a day and somehow not be fat. And she thinks that that's what other people are doing. And we're just lying about it.
And I'm excited to get a
cook
car.
healthy
I'm gonna
meals,
wait
not
till
4
I have
pounds of
some pay
steak.
stubs so I can finance a car. And yeah, and that's one of the reasons I still don't have a car, is I was having issues with that because of having been on leave and stuff. So I was just like, well,
Alleged that she doesn't have a
I'll
car
just
because of issues of being on leave. Didn't you say you were ordering DoorDash every single day? That's why you don't have a car. You don't have a car because you spend all your money on DoorDash. It's simple. It's very simple. I guarantee she spent more than enough money on DoorDash to repair whatever's wrong with her car.
work. I'll get the pay stubs, and that'll be enough to finance. Before now, I wasn't ready, to be honest, and talk about what
You're still not ready to be honest. You're blaming what are you blaming for why you don't have a car when you eat DoorDash every single day? I don't like to compare myself to other people because I don't feel like I need to big up myself, and I don't feel like I need to put anybody else down. And I'm just for one of the few times I'm going to do it is I'm going to say that I don't personally feel I have enough income to eat DoorDash every single day. I can't afford it. How the heck do you afford it, Rosee? I have a car. I'm not a expensive, rich person. I'm not like a wealthy guy, but I can afford my own transportation, but I cannot afford to eat DoorDash every day. How is it it's the opposite with you? How is it these girls are able to afford DoorDash every day, but they can't afford a car? How is that possible?
What was really going on and be honest about it. So I just shut down. And I'm gonna start by working on stopping the eating out and reestablishing patterns that I had in the past that helped me, like tracking my food.
Agreed.
Making better food choices, and just doing that slow elimination process that I started probably, a year ago? I don't know.
Okay, that's a fair point. If her car was totaled, that is some money. But if she really is spending that much on DoorDash, like you're saying, it could absolutely cover a monthly car payment. That would not be an issue. She could absolutely, she's spending more. I want to see what her DoorDash bill is. Because if it's less than $800 a month, I'd be surprised. And $800 can absolutely cover a car and insurance.
I need to work with a calorie deficit and building a pattern.
I think maybe once I did, twice, a couple times.
Sustainable workout options that I can do with my physical limitations from my chronic pain. And it feels
I'm a peasant.
Impossible, but it's not. It is possible. People who I've been seeing recently online that have been helping me wake up.
I'll say that as far as groceries go, sometimes it's affordable, sometimes it's not. Depends on the service, depends on the grocery, depends on how far away. A lot of factors are involved, but some services are more affordable than others. I'll just mention that. But the DoorDash stuff is pretty darn expensive. I know that.
With Jordan on TikTok. I don't know if any of you know who Jordan is. Love Jordan. She's so funny. She's lost like 150 pounds.
I think she lives with her brother, actually, so I'm not 100% sure. But I do know this, that whatever she's spending on DoorDash, like Hannah there said, certainly could
through diet and exercise.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Her cancer diagnosis.
If she did it even every other day, it would come out to $800 a month or more.
She's such a badass, and she's such an inspiration. And
yeah, and where's the actual tears? She's been crying for 20 minutes without any real tears.
Because I want to be there, and I'm not. And I have no one to blame for that but myself. I got down to 100, and I'm so scared to get on that scale because I wouldn't be surprised if I've gained 40 to 50 pounds.
I'd be interested to see the before and afters, but all right. So this is Rosee. The issue here with Rosee here is that, let's let it run out. There's only a couple more minutes.
In 6 months.
100 pounds in 8 months is a lot. That's what? Like 12 pounds a month, pretty much.
And I'm embarrassed.
Like 12 and a half a month.
But I cannot let that stop me forever. And I can't let dissension drive the fear that's making me stop myself. I can't let other people's words fuel me getting in my own way.
Huh?
Because that's what I do.
What does she mean? Other people's words fuel her from getting in her own way. That's a word salad right there. So it's other people's words fuel her from getting in her own way? Is that what she said?
Stop myself. I can't let other people's words fuel me getting in my own way.
What?
Because that's what I do.
So let other people's words
I get in
fuel
my
me
own
getting
way.
in my own way. That is
Have my
word
whole life.
salad. It's the only salad she's even eating.
And I feel like right now making this video is me taking the first step to fighting my addiction for the first time in a long time.
This is the first step.
Because I have not relapsed this
This is the first roll in her mobility scooter.
deep in a couple years.
But Rosee, what are you going to do about it? This video is what, 5 days old, and tonight you just made a mukbang where you ate 4 pounds of steak on camera. So what is this? This video sounds really nice, but you just did a mukbang eating 4 pounds of steak. So make up your mind.
So I don't know where we go from here.
Where we go
I
from
am
here?
starting a full-time job.
Go to the store
I'm
and
not
buy
gonna
more
make any
steak.
promises about vlogs or uploads or anything like that.
Welcome in, Takes the
But,
Cake.
I
Pondu,
do
good to
lives
see
pretty
you.
regularly. I
Thank
have
you for
gotten a few
coming in tonight.
comments of people accusing me of abandoning my channel. I haven't. I've been here this whole time.
Oh, and welcome to any commenters, any chatters, any lurkers coming in. If it's your first night in here, welcome in. Feel free to say hi or to lurk.
But
Either
not
way
everybody
is fine
wants
by
to
me.
watch me cooking and eating on live stream, and I get that.
Watch her cooking and eating online stream. People do not want to watch you eat 4 pounds of steak. The only kinds of people, okay, there's only 2 kinds of people who want to see you eat 4 pounds of steak. The people selling you the steak. All right, let's be serious. The only kinds of people who want to see you eat 4 pounds of steak are, in my opinion, I could be wrong, in my opinion, are feeders and other people who have their own eating issues, who for whatever reason they're also eating 4 pounds of steak, or they can't control themselves from eating 4 pounds of steak and they want to watch somebody else do it because it makes them feel better about themselves. That's the only people I can imagine. And maybe people who just want to see the spectacle. We'll say they're the third group. They're probably the most harmless. They just want to watch the spectacle, like a freak show, whatever. You're right, you could do that. But the first 2 groups are definitely not good.
I also do other stuff on live stream, but a lot of it's cooking content because that's what's easy.
Yes. Yes, Nutty. This video is not helping her because she immediately I don't want to say immediately, but shortly after this video went right back to her addictive behavior with the food addiction. And Rosee, if you're watching this, you want to say I'm being mean, fine, I'm being mean. But if I said anything that wasn't true, if I said anything dishonest, if I said anything meant to hurt you, okay.
I'm a lot of things. But I'm honest.
That's awesome, Ipiista.
And I don't ever want to.
But seriously, though, it may sound nice, but would you really want to be Rosee? Like, think about it for a second. If you could be you and just, eat steak and chill, yeah, okay. But if you had to be Rosee to do it, that's not a good trade. That's not a good trade.
Mislead y'all, and people would ask me on lives a lot, and so I would just be like, I'm not losing weight. It's not where I'm at right now, and I
Nuts are a
sometimes I'd be
tasty
like,
snack.
just I don't feel like talking about it, and because I didn't, and I was avoiding, and
Right? Like, if it was some kind of like an eating competition, I'm sure some people could probably polish off some incredible amounts. But Rosee is eating 4 pounds of steak every time. Maybe not 4. I don't know what it actually is, but it looks like 4 pounds of steak. It looks like 3.5 at least. Every time she does a live, she's eating some crazy amount of food. It's disordered
I just
eating.
have this fear that I'm not strong enough.
Okay, Rosee, respect. If you're not, I can respect that. But what are you going to do to fix that? Are you going to just ignore the fear? Or are you going to try to be stronger? Are you going to say, I got to be stronger. I got to be tough. I got to be hungry a little bit. I know it's hard, but I got to do it.
But the only person that determines that is me.
Darn right, Rosee. Do it. You can do it.
I've been filming for about 30 minutes. I'm sorry for such serious vibes. There was no way.
All right, that's basically the end of her video. Not to burst anyone's bubble, but I have an unhappy ending for Rosee. She mukbangs 3 days after this video is recorded. That's how this ends. But maybe she'll stop mukbanging tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. But here, let me put on the bumper. We got another video though, so other content for a second here. Oh, let me put on my doctor disclaimer. I don't put that on enough. I am not really a doctor. I think most of you folks know that, but anybody who doesn't, I am not really a doctor. If you think you need a doctor, please go get one. So anyway, yeah, and Rosee has been talking a little bit about Foodie and giving her own reactions and opinions. So she's girl world adjacent. I think Rosee really has a decision to make. She can either decide to get healthy and get away from this feederism and this girl world nonsense and get her life back, or she could sink deeper into it and end up on a lot more reaction channels. I think that's the options that she has facing her at this point. But let's see a little bit to what Rosee could become if she falls completely into this insanity, and that is Jaebae. Jaebae is somebody who is completely off the deep end when it comes to the so-called fat liberation, health at any size. You asked for it, you got it. Jaebae, this is you. This is a video she recently did, Fat Liberation 2025, challenging fat phobia and embracing self-love. And when she says self-love, I don't think she means that kind, because I don't think her arms are long enough to reach.
Official. This is where we get real about fat liberation and body positivity. I'm all about amplifying plus-size voices and creating real representation for everybody. This isn't just a channel, it's a movement to challenge fat phobia and promote self-love unapologetically.
Welcome in, Wooly.
I've lived through fat phobia, both in the real world and online. From healthcare to media to dating, I've been there, and that's why I'm here. I'm on a mission to fight against the crap and make sure every plus-size person knows they're worthy. I've been bullied, shamed, and overlooked, but I'm here to tell you that stops now. We're taking up space. For 2025,
we're taking up space. I love that. I love that. That's don't Rosee. I beg you, please do not change your that. Fat Liberation 2025. We're taking up space this year. What a goal. What an awesome goal that is. We're taking up space. We're not going to accomplish anything. We're not going to do anything good. We're not going to help anybody. We're not even going to help ourselves. We're just going to take up space. That's our goal this year. Well, I respect to setting achievable goals. Keep those goals realistic. Keep them within reach of your short arms.
we're diving
And I have pretty short arms too, but I guess I can jump, so maybe I can reach a little higher.
deep into the realities of fat phobia, discrimination, and body shaming. Every week, you can expect new videos that tackle these issues head on while celebrating fat joy and
Welcome in,
liberation.
Wooly.
Whether it's fat phobia in the workplace, the media, or relationships, this is where we get into it. In 2025, I'll focus on fat liberation and activism. In January, navigating fat shaming
She's going to focus on activism all year. Unlike last year when she just focused on being fat. This year she's going to focus on being fat and annoying.
and discrimination. In February,
Hold on. We got to make sure this isn't sped up. Because she is talking so fast. This is not sped up. This is just normal speed. All right. Let's, month by month. Who says fat people are lazy? She came up with 12 months of bullcrap. I'd like to see a skinny person do that.
relationships, this is where we get into it. In 2025, I'll focus on fat liberation and activism.
Fat liberation. Things like standing up? No, not that kind of liberation.
In January, navigating fat shaming and discrimination.
Navigating fat shaming and discrimination, as long as the navigation doesn't involve stairs.
In February, building confidence through my experiences growing up fat. In March, tackling
Hold on. Don't you have to build confidence first before you can teach that to others?
fat phobia in media and healthcare.
Tackling. I've got a feeling tackling is one thing she might be good at. Anybody who watches Super Bowl, she actually looks like a tackle. So yeah, tackling fat phobia, I think she's got that
Confidence through my
locked down.
experiences growing up fat. In March, tackling fat phobia in
Tackling, you got
media
that,
and
Rosee.
healthcare in April. Addressing
Healthcare in April. Healthcare sucks for anybody. She doesn't have that.
fat phobia in relationships and dating in May.
Okay, how could you handle, again, fat phobia in relationships and dating? What does she mean by fat phobia in relationships? Like, oh, I don't want to, I'm afraid I'm afraid to date you because you're so big, the lift is going to kick you out. If I get us a lift to go out, the lift's not going to take you. Like, what does she mean by fat phobia and dating? Does she mean people having a preference? Like having their own personal opinions?
And discussing how to handle fat shaming and bullying in school, family, and online in June.
How to handle fat shaming and bullying in school, considering that's obviously a major thing now, despite all the anti-bullying programs that every school is running nonstop.
Every week, I'll be sharing personal stories, dropping truth bombs, and giving you the tools to fight back against societal BS.
Giving us the tools to fight back against societal BS. I think her number one tool is just going to be being a bitch. That's like her only real tool that she has. Anytime anybody challenges her, she just has a bad attitude.
Fat liberation isn't just a movement, it's a human right. We deserve love, respect, and fair treatment, no matter our size. Fat joy is powerful. Everybody is worthy of celebration. This is where we embrace that unapologetically. Every week, expect personal...
Hold on a second. She didn't come up with 12 full months. Fat people are lazy. She gave up after like 6 months. Like in November or something.
Through my experiences with fat phobia in relationships and dating in May, and discussing how to handle fat shaming and bullying in school, family, and online in June. Every week, I'll be sharing...
Yeah, she only made it to June. She said she had a year full of topics and she only made it to June. You're proving the stereotypes right, Jaebae.
Personal stories, dropping truth bombs, and giving you the tools to fight back against...
Every week I'll be dropping personal stories and truth bombs. She might be dropping some bombs, but only after eating some
societal BS.
Beans.
Fat liberation isn't just a movement, it's a human right. We deserve...
Fat liberation is not a movement, it's more of a standstill.
Love, respect, and fair treatment, no matter...
We deserve love, respect, and fair treatment. Okay, who said you don't? Who said you don't? You know, as much as I'm making fun of this, let's be serious for a second. Her entire premise is based on a lie. Because there's nobody out there who would say, well, fat people don't deserve that.
It's a movement. It's a human right. We deserve love.
Yeah, who's saying fat people don't deserve love? You are unlovable. You don't deserve any love. Nobody's saying that. They're just saying, well, hey, maybe I personally am not interested, but I don't think that you're unworthy of love from anybody. Just got to find the right person.
Respect.
Respect. Again, Jaebae, I don't respect you, but it's not because you're fat. Just want to make that clear.
And fair treatment. No
fair treatment. Again, Jaebae, you don't want fair treatment. You want to be treated with special special consideration. You want to be treated more. You want to be given extra benefits, extra privileges. You don't want to be treated fairly, because when you're treated fairly, you get upset. When people expect you to walk or to carry your own weight, to care for yourself the way that other people do, you get upset. So no, you don't want fair treatment. I think you're full of crap on that one.
Matter our size. Fat joy is powerful. Everybody.
Fat joy is powerful. Fat joy is out of breath.
Everybody is worthy of celebration. This is where we embrace that unapologetically.
Everybody is worthy of celebration. She just did an Instagram post about how her body betrayed her. Glitter and Lasers talks about how her body betrayed her. But all these bodies that betray you are worthy of celebration. Where is it? Where's the Glitter and Lasers one? My body betrayed me, but we're going to celebrate my body. Don't celebrate betrayal. All right, let's get catch up on the chat. Her dumps are nuclear. She needs to be the next president. She could be a politician, this lady. She's so full of crap.
Every week, expect personal stories, lessons I've learned, and actionable advice to help you fight fat phobia and embrace your body. We're going to laugh, cry, and get real about the messiness of life as a fat person. But we're...
The messiness of life. I don't want to hear about whether or not you can wipe yourself.
We're going to do it together. If you're ready for this journey, subscribe and let me know in the comments what you're...
If you're ready for this journey with me, subscribe. Subscribe right here to my channel, please. If you're ready for more of this rude and surface level commentary.
Fat liberation goals are for 2025.
What are your fat liberation goals are for 2025? My fat liberation goals for 2025 are to hear less about them.
All about embracing our power. Join the Jaebae fam, where everybody belongs. 2020.
Everybody belongs, unless you disagree on anything, for even once. even slightly, where everybody belongs, unless you have the slightest disagreement on any subject, in which case you are out of here.
2025 is the year of being unapologetically myself.
As opposed to 2024, when you apologize for being yourself, Jaebae, you have never apologized for anything. And that's not because you shouldn't.
So I'm kicking off the year with a video all about embracing my truth, my body, and my voice. Last year, I
Unlike last year.
had a moment where I realized I couldn't keep hiding my truth. I had to stand tall in who I am, flaws.
Stand tall. She's like 4'11", isn't she? And she rides a scooter all day, but she's going to stand tall.
Small. 2024 taught me a lot about embracing my fat joy, pushing back against fat
Embracing my fat joy. It taught you a new vocabulary word, fat joy.
phobia, and growing into a stronger version of myself.
Growing into a stronger version of yourself. Just because you displace more, take up more space, does not mean you've gotten stronger.
I've learned that I don't need anyone's approval to live the way I want to live.
But are you living the way you want to live? That's the real question, Jaebae. And that's the question I'll pose to anybody who wants to be a travel vlogger, who's not really able to travel anywhere because of their size. Are you really living the way you want to live? Or are you living the way you feel that you have to live? Do you really believe that you can't lose any of this weight? Do you believe that you're forced to die an early death and to be crippled by your morbid obesity, Jaebae? And I'm not trying to be rude, but we're gonna watch some Instagram videos of you. Every one of them shows you in a wheelchair with a breathing machine, oxygen mask, and you're in your early 20s. That's not how you want to live. And if that's how you want to live, then I hope you don't want that for anybody else.
What are your fat liberation resolutions for 2025? Drop them in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe because we're just getting started. Speaking of fat liberation and rethinking our resolutions, we know that with the new year comes a surge of diet industry promotions, weight loss journey posts, and all those new year, new me messages.
So you oppose that? You oppose people getting healthy?
Telling us we need to shrink our bodies to be worthy.
No, that's not, no. Who's saying you need to shrink your body to be worthy or loved? Now, I'm not going to say there's no ads from any fitness. There are plenty of terrible ads from fitness businesses and from anything telling us all kinds of stupid things, and you shouldn't pay attention to them. But I think most people encouraging fitness are encouraging it for its own sake and aren't trying to shame anyone.
Worthy or loved. It's like clockwork. Every January, the pressure ramps up, and we're bombarded with the same harmful narratives. Lose weight, change yourself, and fit into the mold.
Yes, the harmful narratives like lose weight.
But I want us to
very harmful narrative there. Lose weight, get healthy, get in the gym.
Start the year by shrinking, when what we really deserve is to grow in confidence, love, and acceptance, exactly as we are. Diet culture is the
no. That's Jaebae. Nobody's telling you. Okay, why does she think that because there's commercials saying, hey, why don't you try to get healthier? Why don't you go to the gym? Why does she associate that with her being insulted? Why has she made her identity her obesity? Why does she not realize that she could lose this weight and she would still be a human being? It's not like she is, you are not your obesity, Jaebae. But you are still a person, even if you lose the weight.
Obsession with
she can barely even open her eyes. Look at her left eye.
Loss, thinness, and the idea that our worth is tied to our appearance.
Her eyes almost go shut unless she opens them wide open, then they almost go shut.
It promotes the idea that in order to be healthy or worthy, you have to fit into a specific body size or shape. It perpetuates shame around food choices and pushes people to restrict.
Perpetuates shame around food choices. Well, you know something? I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say if your food choices are an entire pizza dipped in ranch dressing, then yeah, let's shame that food choice. If your food choices are a dozen tacos and then you pour ketchup all over them and mayonnaise, yeah, let's shame your food choices. I think we do need to shame some food choices.
Deprive or punish themselves in pursuit of perfection.
Deprive or punish themselves in pursuit of perfection. This is such a loaded statement. In pursuit of perfection. No. In pursuit of health. Deprive or punish themselves. It's not depriving yourself to eat healthy. It's not punishing yourself to be active and fit. Punishing yourself would be allowing your body to deteriorate. Punishing yourself would be eating foods that are unhealthy and that are going to make you feel ill.
How many times have we set New Year's resolutions that revolve around dieting, losing weight, or changing our bodies? We're told that a new year, new me means a smaller me. Every January, we are bombarded with messages about how to lose the holiday weight and be a better version of ourselves.
Let me tell you folks, Jaebae, lose the holiday weight. I am somebody who has struggled with weight at various points in my life. Thankfully, right now, I'm at a healthy weight. I'm back down to like 180 something. I got to check the scale again. I haven't weighed myself in a little bit, but the point is I had like 15 pounds I put on over the last year, and it just was very stubborn. It was like I put on like 1 pound a month, almost every month, something like that. And it just was a stubborn, slow weight gain. And this last 2 months or whatever, I managed to lose it. And that's great. And that was my New Year's thing. And I didn't have to deprive myself or punish myself. I just stopped eating so many sweets.
Exercise routines or detoxes. I've been there. I've set those same resolutions for myself. I've done the extreme dieting, the scales that would dictate my self-worth. I remember feeling so much guilt when I didn't follow through with those resolutions or when I didn't lose the weight I wanted to. It was never about health. It was about validation. Let's flip the script. Instead of focusing on changing our bodies, let's focus on...
What was that? It's never about health. It's about validation. That's about projection. Because what you're preaching right now, Jaebae, is not about health. You have not, you could preach all you want about how being 600 pounds is healthy, but you're not able to do the things that most people can do. You're not able to do basic, and I'm not talking, and I don't mean to be rude or insulting to anybody who's suffering from any kind of disability. If somebody was in an accident, they can't walk or something like that, I don't mean to be rude or insulting or anything like that. But most people, at least at Jaebae's age, are able to get up and walk around. They're able to breathe without an oxygen mask. And it's one thing if it's out of your control and it's just something maybe you were born with or a terrible bad luck accident. But when it's something you could stop if you chose to improve your health, it's very different.
Reclaiming the type of resolutions that empower us to live our best lives as we are. How about setting resolutions that
right, 180 pounds, I'm wasting away.
Acceptance and personal empowerment. These are the resolutions we need for true transformation. Health is more than a number on the scale.
You're right. It's also the size of your clothes. It's also your blood pressure, your blood sugar. It's a lot of things, Jaebae, and none of the things that you have.
It's about how we feel mentally, emotionally.
Your ability to walk without getting out of breath. How much you sweat. Yeah, you're right. It's a lot more than just a number on a scale.
Emotionally and physically in our bodies. Health should mean nurturing your body, mentally, emotionally, and physically.
And nurturing your body, I agree, Jaebae. We agree on that one. And nurturing your body means not feeding yourself lots of junk food. Lots of salty, sugary junk food. Now, that doesn't mean you can't ever have some treats, but don't confuse eating unhealthy food with quote-unquote nurturing your body.
By doing things that make you feel good and aligned with who you truly are. Not by...
Like, let me give you an example. I'm probably going to snack on some pancakes after the show is over. It's not going to be so bad because I haven't eaten too crazy today. But I'd probably be better off not eating them. Probably better off just going to bed hungry and trying to lose a little weight. But I'm going to snack on some pancakes tonight. And that's okay. But I don't consider that self-love. It's just, hey, I'm going to overeat a little bit today, and it is what it is. And I'll diet the other day. And I think that being honest with myself is self-love.
Punishing yourself with extreme measures. So instead of making these crazy resolutions about shrinking yourself and dieting and trying to lose a certain amount of weight, just make the resolutions that feel good to you. What's going to make you feel better about yourself? What's going to make you feel better all around? Think about the ways that you can help improve yourself mentally and emotionally. Honestly, I have so many goals this year, and I said goals, not resolutions, but not a single one of my goals revolves around me shrinking my body because of what society tells me. None of my goals
revolve around shrinking my body. I love how she manages to make it, out of all of the effects of weight loss, she manages to ignore every single health-related benefit and focuses purely in on the one element that is irrelevant. And that is vanity. The one thing that really doesn't matter, Jaebae, is how big you are, except to you. What matters is things like your ability to enjoy your life. Don't you want to have more years? You're going to die very young, Jaebae. It's not even a question at this point. So when you talk about not wanting to shrink your size, don't shrink your size if you don't want to. But aren't you tired of needing the oxygen mask? Aren't you tired of needing the scooty?
Around my weight or changing my body in any way. And I think that we should all embrace that. We don't need to reach a number on the scale before we feel good enough. We're good enough as we are. So honestly, I feel like we should just reframe this whole resolution thing. Set goals. Set goals that make you feel good. Set goals you want to achieve. Think about the things you dream of. Think about how you want to make the world a better place. I think those are great goals to have. But as far as resolutions or shrinking myself or hitting
Shrinking myself. She's just so deluded.
a certain number on the scale, that's just not in the cards for me.
Being a certain number on the scale, that's not in the cards for me. So in other words, I'm not going to try to get healthier. I'm just going to spend all year complaining about everybody else not accommodating me enough. So I think we've seen enough about Jaebae here to go on to the rest of Jaebae, because I have some really good Jaebae content here. So we're going to go to Jaebae's channel, Jaebae's Instagram here, and we're going to watch some of her absolutely hilarious recent videos. I'm going to turn off the music on this one. Share this tab. Whoops. All right, I got to go back. Hold on. Let me share this again. Yes. Here we go. Let me adjust the volume because this volume is always super loud.
About SeaTac Airport. You hear that plane? Well, I'm staying right outside SeaTac right now at an incredible hotel that I've gotten to partner with. But I have something to say, and I think you want to hear it. If you're familiar with my experience at SeaTac, where
Yes, her experience at SeaTac, where they refused to push her in a wheelchair because of her size. That's right. There were people in wheelchairs who were disabled because of who knows exactly what the reason was. Jaebae apparently needed a wheelchair, not because she was disabled, just because she was really fat. And she was upset that they wouldn't push her in the chair. They expected her to push herself.
they refused to push me in a wheelchair. You saw that video, and they refused to push me because I was too fat. And they had absolutely no consideration for my physical health, my well-being, my needs, none of the above. Well, I thought maybe I was the only person that happened to experience that, and it was just something that was really uncommon.
She thought it was something uncommon. She thought that she was the only person who was too fat to get a push from somebody in a wheelchair.
And then I talked to someone incredible in our community, and they're a much smaller fat person than I am, and they experienced the same damn thing. Then I talked to someone else who has also experienced something very similar. And you know what? Enough is enough. If you've ever had a bad experience with CTAC, we would love for you to come out and be part of the protest. Let's show them that they cannot treat people like this. They cannot treat anyone like this, and they cannot treat fat people like this. This is unacceptable, and it's discrimination, and it will not be.
It's discrimination. It's discrimination. It's discrimination against us because we're too heavy to move.
Tolerated any longer. So if you want to be a part of this protest, DM me tonight, DM me tomorrow, but let's go ahead and make it happen. We will be at SeaTac Airport Tuesday, February 4th. If you want to protest at SeaTac in solidarity with me, come on by. If you see me at SeaTac, please come up and say hello. Stand in solidarity with us. SeaTac.
Stand in solidarity. If you could stand, you wouldn't be in this situation, Jaebae. The whole reason you're doing a protest is because you need a wheelchair. So I think saying stand with us is a little bit facetious.
Will be held accountable for their actions. We will not stand for this any longer.
You know, Jaebae, don't you get the irony of saying that you won't stand for this? We won't stand for needing a wheelchair.
If you've had an experience like this, please share it with me via DM or drop it in the comments. Let's start the conversation because this needs to be talked about. All right, listen up. It's your girl, Jay.
Okay, so she said that a lot of people have talked to her about this, and a lot of people have complained, and it was a really big deal. So let's see her video of the presentation of the actual protest. I'm going to turn off the music. Notice how many people are at her protest. You see how many people are there with her? Look at that massive crowd. And when I say massive, I'm referring to the only person there. And she says they deny wheelchair assistance. But if they denied wheelchair assistance, then how did she get there for the protest? Who pushed her there for the protest? Whose wheelchair is that, Jaebae? If they deny you a wheelchair, then whose wheelchair are you sitting in there? CTAC violates our rights. Hashtag wheelchair access for all. You're literally the only person there, Jaebae. This is the definition of privilege. You are able to have your own protest movement for your problem that affects only you. That is the definition of being privileged. That really is. That really is. I don't think you could possibly be more privileged when you think the entire world needs to change because of a problem only you experience. That is the definition of being privileged. And look how like nobody is even watching her. They're like, I'll just try to get away from her. There could not be less people there. And notice how she picked a time when there would be absolutely nobody there to see her. You'd think if you were going to do a protest, you would pick a busy time for people to see it. Instead, she picked the absolute emptiest time possible so that she can get a parking space near the front. Let me check some of your comments. Exactly, Dot. Exactly. Oh, okay, Nutty. Fair enough. Welcome in, Susie Q. Good to see you. She is, apparently. Yeah, 0 people. Exactly. Absolutely nobody was there. What a joke. Exactly. Any disability? Oh, that reminds me. Let's check one of her other posts where she talks about this. Here. This is the best one ever. I want to use the music. But in 2018, from limitation to liberation with dashmoto.us. Let me open this link in a new tab. Dashmoto. See these vehicles? These Dash Motos that they're riding? Do you notice anything about them? Do you notice anything about the people riding these? Anything you notice about the people riding these? This is probably the biggest person we're going to see here. Right here. This lady is probably the biggest person here. And she is a fraction of Jaebae's size. This woman, Jaebae is about 3 times the size of this woman. And she is the biggest one on any of these pictures. I went to their website. The maximum weight supported by that vehicle is 375 pounds. That's actually pretty impressive when you see how small it is. 375 pounds is a lot of weight. But not when you're Jaebae. Let's see her glide around on this vehicle. And I'm going to narrate. In 2018, my world changed forever. I went from being active and independent to barely being able to leave my house. My body betrayed me. My body betrayed me. What is this with people's bodies betraying them? Is that like a common thread here? My body betrayed me. Walking even a few feet left me dizzy, weak, and on the verge of fainting. Doctors didn't know what was wrong. The doctors couldn't figure it out. Jaebae, why are you getting so tired? You're only 500 pounds. What's going on? Why are you tired? Why are you out of breath? The doctors just can't figure it out. Then came the diagnosis, pulmonary hypertension. I thought I knew what that was, so I double checked and I actually was correct. It's high blood pressure, that particularly in lungs, but it's high blood pressure, which is directly linked to obesity. There's not even a question of whether or not they're linked. They're intrinsically linked. It's a lung disease that impacts my oxygen levels and heart rate. It's also related to your obesity. My mobility was taken from me. No, you took your mobility from you. Your mobility was taken. If it was taken from you, it was taken by Ronald McDonald. And I became a wheelchair user. You put yourself in a wheelchair because of your chronic obesity. your serious, what do they call it, hypermorbid obesity. For 6 years, I relied on a manual wheelchair, one that fit my body, but wasn't really easy for me to self-propel. I needed someone to push me, limiting my freedom and independence. What freedom and independence? Insurance only covered a manual chair. And for years, I thought that was my only reality, but the universe had other plans. Enter Dashmoto, an innovative company changing the game for mobility users of all sizes. No, they're not. Only people below 375 pounds. Let's go to their website and see. Let's go to their website. One second here. I got the details. Oh, it's also it's only $4,000. I should point that out. Here we go. Yeah, free delivery, only $4,000. Top speed, 18 miles per hour, less than 375 pounds weight capacity. So, when she says here that it is changing the game for mobility users of all sizes, but not of all budgets, because you got to have $4,000 that the insurance won't cover. It's sleek, stylish, sporty, and FAA approved. Giving people like myself the freedom they deserve. No, you're too big. Today I'm rediscovering myself. And first of all, it has no back support. There's no lower back support. She looks like she's going to tip over and fall out of that chair, doesn't she? If she goes too fast, she's going to fall backward straight out of that thing. And then she's going to sue the Dash company. Anyway, use code Jaebae for $100 off your Dash today. Link in the bio. Is this why you wanted Jaebae content? Because this woman is totally delusional. Let me read some of your comments. Good second here. Her hands have a mind of her own and force the food into her gullet. Exactly. They betrayed their bodies. Unbelievable. Get a unicycle. She does not fit in that seat. I love how she's riding around in that thing like she fits. Put the fork down. She'll lose at least a pound that way. They have this crazy belief that everybody who's thin just eats 10,000 calories a day and doesn't gain any weight. It's constant lies. I got pulmonary hypertension. It stole my mobility from me. Yeah, right. Okay. Your 500-pound body stole your mobility. She had another funny one here. Let me adjust the volume on this one.
So there's a lot of reasons why we did this ultimately. And for us, it's really a culmination of like a 10-year dream with wanting to bring it to All Body Strong. So we, as fat-bodied individuals, have been fat athletes our whole life. So we know it's like to walk into a gym space and be like, ooh, I don't fit there. The weight trees aren't at the right space. I'm physically in the space itself not welcome there, as well as the people being like, hey, let's stare at the bodies doing big things in a gym. And so for us, we really wanted to create a space where people felt seen, safe, and celebrated. And that's really the core.
So we wanted to create a space where people felt seen, safe, and liberated. But what's she talking about? If you're at the Fat Con in Seattle, Fat Liberation PDX, is this supposed to be a gym? Inclusive gyms to fat-friendly salons, the fat community is creating spaces where all bodies are seen, safe, and celebrated. That's not true. That's not true. I went to a Planet Fitness, and I was fat when I went there. I was like 250 pounds. And they gave me this whole big speech about how this is an inclusive gym, and you can't wear a sleeveless shirt, and you can't lift too much weight, and you can't intimidate the other people. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not even in shape. I'm not even in shape, and you're already telling me like I gotta be careful I don't intimidate the other gym goers. Like if they're afraid of me being intimidating, then they don't really know, they don't have the slightest clue what they're talking about.
Or why we do what we do here.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing to do is just to, it sounds horrible, the best way to encourage people or make them feel comfortable is to shut them down. But like to shut down like their negative self-talk that I can actually hear. Yeah. So if I hear people like pull a dress out and say like, oh, I love that so much, but I don't have any reason to have that or anywhere to wear that, or that wouldn't look good
I love it. So she says if she hears somebody saying that a dress wouldn't look good on them, she
on
says,
my belly, or it wouldn't like flatter my butt or something like that, to just kind of try to step in and say, you should try that on. You never know. I bet you'd look really great in that.
so in other words, this is the kind of friend that Glitter and Lasers has. Because you ladies and guys, anybody, you need a friend who's honest with you. If the clothes look bad on you, you want a friend who's going to say that doesn't work for you, doesn't work for your shape. Let's try something else. This bitch, part of my language, this bitch is going to tell Jaebae that those pants that are way too tight and look terrible look good. She is setting people up for failure, and she's acting like she's doing them a favor.
I love that. Right. So, what inspired you to create a body positive waxing experience?
So the first year that I was waxing, I was at like a chain salon, and I was, for the industry, I was old when I started waxing. I was like 35, and I remember I would talk to my clients and be like, I'll probably like start doing something else because no one's gonna want me waxing them when I'm like 50. And I had so many people that were like, I would, you know, or kind of be like, you know, everyone here is great, but like I just feel so much more comfortable with you, someone, you know, that's not super young, I'm not, you know, I'm not tiny, I have kids, like all these things. And like my biggest thing is like when I was buying my bed.
Emotional support waxer. I hope that's a joke. I really hope that's a joke. No disrespect, because I actually got my back waxed once. So I understand what it's like to be waxed, and it's no fun, but I don't get the whole emotional support.
Like, I need something that's not going to feel rickety. I need something like it's hydraulic so it can go up and down. So, you know, everyone can get, you know, on the table easily. I can put it down, I can put it up. My number one thing is I love how she does this whole big thing about, so what makes you a size inclusive waxer? And by the time she's done, we find out it's really just that she has an extra large hydraulic bed. That's what really makes her size inclusive. I have this extra large hydraulic bed. every single body that I wax, it's waxed the same.
Like, how did inclusivity become very important to you and like a pillar of the work you wanted to do and like working at an inclusive salon? Like, what was the draw for that?
I think for me, like, there's obviously a lot of
Exactly.
not inclusive spaces, and so being like a queer person,
Very good point.
and like a bigger person with myself, like I've definitely wanted to work somewhere that promotes those things. And
But you know something? I'm going to just point something out here. I've always gotten my hair done at a salon over the years. And when I would go to the salon, correct me if I'm wrong, ladies, but I never felt it was a place where if you were fat, you weren't allowed to go there. Like, I would always see like some big lady with her hair all done up and her nails all done up. And she would, you know, be making the best of her looks. And I think that was a good thing. And I never saw it like somebody would get kicked out of the salon for being too fat. I always saw it was the opposite. Where people, if you were big, you would go to the salon, you'd get all made up, and that was that. You know, it was, I would see more big people in the salon sometimes than small size people. So I never felt, I was always heavy. People never were like, oh, you're too fat, you can't come to this salon. I never got that experience. And I'm not saying like, maybe there are some places like that, but I've got a feeling those are the minority of places.
to like be inclusive, because yeah, I think
Like, where do they kick you out for being too fat? Unless you're too big to use the chair. That's the only reason I mean, I've never heard of anybody being kicked out of a salon for being too fat unless they were literally too big to fit in the chair.
for everyone to have a space to feel comfortable
Yeah,
and safe. And
that's
so
amazing.
That's really
First, what inspired you both to create a
All right, so that's that with Jaebae. I think that's our dose of Jaebae for the evening. Let's circle back. Let's circle back to some Foodie. We'll put this on for a minute. So let me switch it up real quick. Oh, and by the way, for anybody not aware, let me do another teaser. Glitter and Lasers. I'm doing a special on Glitter and Lasers the Saturday after this one. And on the Glitter and Laser special, we're going to be covering her whole big podcast that she does on the show called Medical Detectives. I listened to a little bit of it. It is hilarious. Anybody who really enjoys the Glitter and Lasers coverage, this is going to be a treat. We are going to have so much fun this Saturday after this. I already have it scheduled, the 22nd. We are going to have a ton of fun with that Saturday special, digging into the hour-long Glitter and Lasers podcast. It is going to be a riot. So I hope you, so bring a brick, bring a Molotov cocktail, because that show is going to be a riot. All right. And now MC Foodie is going to drop a fat beat. Let me share the correct tab. And again, I got this video from Kelly's channel. Let me post the link.
So I woke up to a long email. Somebody claiming to be in love with Salah again and has been talking to him, okay? Who wants me to read it? It's like, I'm sure it's the same person. With a different...
So apparently this is, first video we watched was about an email Foodie got from one of her beezers who'd been talking to Salah. Apparently a second email was sent. And this is her response to that second email. So anybody who's catching up, this is a more recent one. So let's check it out.
Different name this time.
You think Jessica Meska's behind it? She could be. She's a bit of a troll.
All right, so this person is from
Jessica
somebody named
does troll.
Layla Khaloud from Proton.
It's the next Saturday. Not this Saturday. It's the one after. It's going to be noon Eastern time. So I think that's 9 a.m. for you. It's going to be early.
A fake. Isn't that what scammers use?
All right, let's go back. Let's see what this woman's name is. Khaloud, Layla Khaloud. She looks pretty in her picture, although it looks more like a drawing than a picture.
Which is a fake. Isn't that what scammers use? I just put on the undercap that was on the table. Why? What's wrong with this?
Didn't that undercap used to be white?
This one. You see the phone reflection? Oh, yeah. Not that there's anything very incriminating, but... Leela Khaloud. Hey, Chantel. And then they have it, something in Arabic. I don't know what
We got to vote against Jessica.
Some Arabic there, which they used on...
So apparently they sent her a message in Arabic, or at least partly in Arabic. Actually, it doesn't seem to be in Arabic at all. Looks to be in English. I was writing to you about Salah. He and I have been having a relationship behind your back for a while now. Well, that's pretty straight up. My friend Rawan bin Hussein, who is ironically an influencer who is not a fan of yours. In fact, I've heard horrible things about most of my girlfriends about your situation. It's hard to read it.
Google Translate, according to Salah. I'm writing to you about Salah. I'll give
possibly translated. Okay, that makes sense.
her points because she wrote Chantal with an AL, which, you know,
that would make sense.
Is good and dandy. I can't even read it without laughing. Oh my god. Okay. He and I have been having a relationship behind your back for a while now. My friend, Rawan bin Hussein, like, why do you have to put, like, why do you have, she wrote, it's like she put the whole name to make it more legit that she knows somebody Arabic. So she put this whole, like, bin Hussein. Did you just, like, take
bin Hussein? That's absolutely couldn't possibly be somebody's real name.
Bin Laden and Saddam Hussein, like the only two Arab people you probably know.
Well, that's the only two that you know.
Oh, no, my blood pressure. Okay.
You know, you'd think that after living in Kuwait, she would know a little bit more. She would at least know like a few common Arabic names after living there for so long. Oh, what's the comments say here?
My friend Rawan bin Hussein, who is ironically an influencer.
Welcome in, Denise.
Is
Hope
this
you're having
true?
a
Can
good
someone
night.
verify if this is an influencer? Who is not a fan of yours. In fact, I've heard horrible things by most of my girlfriends about your situation here in Kuwait. And we connected at some point through her. My other friend, Mariam Al-Kafari, told me you were an animal abuser who gave up her life in Canada to fly out here and force a man to be with her as long as she continued to pay for his needs.
Yeah, you know what? You were right. This person does know a lot about Foodie. So yeah, that's whoever wrote that letter knows Foodie inside out. And that Jessica Mesco was in the chat there for a minute. Or it could have been somebody posing as her, maybe.
I can't even afford a new jar of pickles, all right? Leave me alone! I never judge anyone.
Well, at least it's a good troll,
until I
right?
research things myself. And unfortunately, from what I saw of you, Chantel, and mostly Salah, they are correct.
Foodie's hairline is getting so far back now. You gave permission for her to shower, but instead she wrote this. I just suddenly remember right now. She told me she wrote this and said it to scam you.
What?
Okay, her hairline is so far back because you got to imagine, like, you don't even see like a wisp here. And this top, if she had hair under there, this would be kind of like pushed up a little bit, wouldn't it? This is clearly against the scalp. Foodie is completely bald under that scalp, under that skull cap.
Did you see our bank accounts? Like, they also mentioned how so many of your actions in around the country have been illegal, and their parents have been keeping an eye on you for a while now. And since you don't have citizenship and still
keep her from stealing them.
By the way, no expats ever get citizenship here. And still have to check in for your visa every few months. You could be in serious criminal trouble, but that's not my place at all to speak, so I won't.
I'm not blaming. I'm saying it was good, whoever did it.
What I can speak about is my love for Salah and his complete and utter fear and terror of telling you the truth and breaking free from you.
This troll is so good because I love the fact that this is what always reminds me when people, when her beezers complain that she doesn't read the chat. I'm just thinking to myself, how many of them have sent her an email and she would never read it? As soon as a troll sends her an email, she doesn't just read it. She goes online and records a video of herself reading every single word. It's like if you want Foodie to watch a video you do, just make it a reaction and criticize her directly and she'll see it. After the first incident, I wouldn't be worried it's happening again. I think Sarah Jane is actually a little ill. Last time I spoke to her, I've not spoken to her in a little while, but she was here a few weeks ago though, so I know she's around. She's just kind of been lurking behind the scenes, but I will check in with her again though. It's been a little while.
You need to let him go because I see the extent he has gone to communicate with me over these last few months especially, and it's wearing on him emotionally, and I'm very worried for him as I tell him daily. He has told me he feels like a trapped prisoner with you. And the lack of any trust has proven he no longer is interested in you, but is afraid to tell you.
No longer interested. Okay, that's the one part I don't believe. Salah was never interested in her. If he was, it was only because he didn't know who she was properly. Salah wants you to lose 100 kilograms, but even then, I don't think that would matter. I don't think he's attracted to you. I just think he doesn't like you at this point. I think he kind of likes you as a friend maybe, but he doesn't see you as anything else. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying that I don't get that vibe from him. I know she hasn't been feeling too well. I don't want to speak for her. I don't know exactly what her situation is, but I do know that she has had some health issues on and off. But without knowing a lot of details, that's all I really feel comfortable saying.
Never found you attractive, beautiful, inside or out. What do you mean? He thinks I'm beautiful. I think deep down you always knew this and didn't care. So he felt an obligation to go along with the situation as long as it could until things eventually ran their course and the novelty wore off.
But I will check in with her though again, just to see what's going on. But I do know she has had some health issues on her.
There's no poo reference. Chantal, the novelty has long worn off. And Salah doesn't want to pursue any future with you. You know this. I know this. He knows this. But he knows you
I
can't.
love how insulting this letter is. Like, it's just so rude and mean toward Foodie. And not that that came out wrong. I don't love that it's mean, but I love how she's reading every word of this letter that is so rude and insulting. Like she couldn't possibly say anything about herself that comes across worse than this letter.
Can't deal with reality, and so he has felt he had to tiptoe around you and walk on eggshells until he could finally leave, which is
I hope
soon.
so too, Takes the Cake. I'll send her your wishes. Your well wishes.
Babe, I'm getting the suitcase for you. You have made him feel inferior, small, abused, and especially disrespected in so many ways.
This is a heck of a
He will
letter.
not tell you this to your face because he has wanted to, like I said, let this thing run its course until he lined up someone better and safer. He felt he could move in with and move on. Now he has.
Okay, so if he really has gotten somebody better, then he is going to move on.
So he found you, who's better, but you're betraying him by writing this email, number one. Number two.
Foodie actually makes one good point. Okay, I can give credit where it's due. Foodie, that's a good point.
If you claim that I need to pay for his needs, you better be effing rich, lady. Let's go. Oh, he always comes to me about your tracking him 24/7. And having all the passwords to any accounts he has, personal or not, and that kind of situation to anyone would be the instant end of a partnership because there is no trust. Do you really think he doesn't talk to me or anyone else, despite what you've done? So if you love him so much...
And without the filters, you can see Foodie's skin's a little blotchier. So I think she actually does have the filters here. I think she has like two sets of filters. I think she has one set of filters that smooth out her skin, and then she has another one that kind of shrink down her profile. I think she leaves off the ones that smooth her skin so that she could say she has no filters, but she leaves on the ones that shrink down her facial profile. Because look how this kind of like cuts in on the sides here. I feel like that's two different sets of filters.
And this is your new man. You're letting him talk to other women too because you say,
Don't make me
really
turn it
think
up.
He doesn't talk to me or anyone else despite what you've done. Okay. Of course he does and is. That isn't love. You've done. Okay. Of course he does and is. That isn't love. That isn't even something you do with a friend. He has allowed you to track him because he had no other options at the time and just wanted to let the situation with you and he to play out until he could get his resources in line to leave you and move in with me.
I mean, I will say this. If Foodie, this is the reality. Whether Foodie wants to believe it or not, this person is just saying exactly what everybody else believes. I mean, I don't know about you folks in the chat, but this email that Foodie is reading, I think any one of us could have written it. Not that I think anybody here did, but anybody here could have written this letter. This is just the conclusion we've all come to, that Salah is just using her as a meal ticket. She is content with the situation as it is. Whether she likes it or not, she's content, and that's it.
I have helped him, and I don't regret it because
you think
I
it's
have
Missy
seen
Moo?
and read how you treat him and
I
thus
can see that.
encouraged him and have been helping
see
him to
Missy.
slowly plan his escape from you. Ma'am, how I treat him, have you seen him out me for the pineapple on the couch? Please note, it was never my intent to hurt you, but I believe in karma, and based on what Salah has said, he does not love you or even have any kind of interest in a relationship.
You know what? Now that you mentioned Missy Moo, this actually does sound like Missy Moo style. Like Missy Moo is very verbose. She really likes to overwrite things, from what I remember at least. It's been a while since I've read anything she wrote, but I remember she was a pretty good writer, and she was very verbose, and that's exactly what this letter is.
Relationship with you. You are purely
Also, the way that if this is translated from Arabic to English, the English is too smooth to be translated from Arabic, which makes me think it was English translated to Arabic back to English, which would explain why the English reads so smoothly.
transactional for him, and he has hid his emotions and wants and real needs with me because he knows it's ending with you soon. It was just a matter of when. Again, if I don't read faster, guys, this is never going to end.
What was the comment there?
Going to end.
Oh, Jessica was in the chat. All right.
Again, I've been helping him and wanted him to write this note to tell you that him and his actions, he has obviously been communicating with me and someone else behind your back in secret and even in my opinion, desperately sad ways because he simply can't live or even breathe under your control anymore. I know you will continue to doubt all of these random people writing you, dismissing them as trolls, but at the end of the day, once all the dust settles, actions will speak, and I thought I would do the decent thing of at least giving you a heads up so you can get whatever of yourself, your belongings in order because he is nearly there and ready to leave you for me. I don't want to say when or how. Clearly, we have had to work this all out over a bit of time. And again, Salah has said that the less you know...
Oh, remember, you know something? That reminds me. Anybody else remember that controversy? That allegedly Missy Moose sent a topless picture to Salah? Or sent him like a nude or something? Like sent him some kind of a sexy pic? And was trying to like steal Salah away? Or there was some weirdness going on between Missy Moo and Salah, and just Missy Moo was a very odd lady. The more we learned about her, the more surprised we were. I did a whole special on her actually, like over a year ago now. But that was probably the best deep dive into Missy Moo that anybody's done, at least that I'm aware of.
Even suspect the better. But why? Like, if he wants to leave, why would he have to plan it? Like, just like, you know? And that he needs to keep up the roots of your situation right now. Otherwise, he felt you would do something manipulative or dangerous that would put him in a compromised situation he could not get out of. I agreed. He wants to do this cleanly and with no mess, and he has nothing he owes to you in any way, Chantal. You know this. You have known this since day one. No matter what you do, you cannot force someone to feel something for someone else they don't. No matter how hard you try, how much you force it, how warped your intentions.
Yeah, it might have just been a topless photo.
Fall in love with you because of what you do for him financially, because that, like most, is fleeting. He has no interest in you, not for your money, attention, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's too long. I'm getting a headache. It simply is that he genuinely never has felt any actual love for you and only saw you as a monkey branch and means to an end while he searched out other better living situations and people. I don't think he expected to fall in love, but it happens. Again, you can laugh at this like you always do. He can laugh. You can put on that.
This letter is okay. Okay, this letter is so overwritten that even somebody like me who wants to believe it, I want to believe. The truth is out there. But as much as I want to believe, this sounds like a troll. No real, like, if this person was real, they wouldn't be talking all this. Salah would just be there. He would have already left. This letter would have come after he left. They wouldn't send this letter with him still living there.
All is said and done, actions will prove this was the truth all along. I have nothing to gain from this. I am writing this for my own karma, I guess. If I were you, I would get my personal affairs in order and move on. Like, talking to a married man every day is not going to give you bad karma. Move on to the next chapter in your life, Chantal. Move on and let go of something that never was and never will be, no matter how hard you force it or what you think someone will appreciate. Life is not a vending machine.
Yes.
What you put into it will not always be what you get back. Salah never loved you. He loves me. He is hoping you move on and find happiness with someone else, but you need a heads up. You are wasting your time.
It's
and
content.
Maybe this will be a wake-up call.
It's content.
Something in Arabic, Salah.
I should cover that. I should cover some retro reacts.
All right.
Foodie's been boring
I need to
lately.
do a big laugh for this, so I'm gonna do I'm gonna try to do the Geordie psychotic laugh from Lordy It's Geordie. His glasses on. No, how does he do it? I can't do it.
Exactly. She needs content. Can you blame her? I can't blame her. Yes, good point.
Anyway, I thought that would be entertaining for you. It was for me. We're gonna hear Salah's thoughts on this.
Oh, Salah's thoughts.
Yeah, I can ask him.
Salah's thoughts. He's probably just gonna fart in the microphone.
I would just do his laugh.
Or he's gonna play Crazy Frog.
That's what he did when I sent him the screenshots.
He's just gonna laugh like a maniac.
He sent a troll emoji and did his laugh very loud.
He did his laugh.
Well, I guess time will tell, right?
This keyboard brings all the hoes to the yard, and they're like, mine is better than yours. You're damn right, mine is better than yours. You better play frog, crazy frog, or I have to rape.
I bet you he doesn't play Beethoven riffs for you, ho. You don't think that of all the people that watch me, that there's gonna be trolls, especially after I read the last email? Watch, I'm gonna get more now because they want to be read on the internet. Just watch. Bae, remember I sent you screenshots today of that?
But Foodie, you want more trolls because you like having this content. That's why you read the first email and why you read the second one when it was twice as long, because you like having this content to do. Because normally your lives are just you overeating.
A lady said that you're gonna be you're leaving me now.
He put out the fatwa. Is she just drinking more pickle juice?
Well,
oh, that reminds me.
got a tooth for me?
I think it was last week when some folks in the chat pointed it out. There's a conspiracy theory, and it's not the craziest that I've heard, that Foodie uses a recording of Salah's laugh to make it sound like he's there even when he's not. It's not the craziest theory.
Do you and Salah have each other's locations on? Yeah. Well, for me, before I get in the elevator, even send me location, and then he just sends it like automatically. I said, babe, if you are leaving me for this woman, imagine having to listen to her all day, every day.
Oh, and somebody pointed out that there's this feeder in her chat, Anime Sucks Cope and Sneed, who's been hitting on Foodie, like sending her these obnoxious messages like, oh, babe, I want to marry you. You should leave Salah, come with me. And at first people thought he was just being a stupid jokester, but he might actually be serious? Is that true? That's just such a sick thought to think that he's hitting on her directly. I might cover that next week. I'm going to watch that and see what there is to see.
Thank you, Billy. I know that laugh be scaring little kids through the wall.
Welcome in, Chantel's Unflicked Bean. Hope you're having a good night. That's a cute pic you got, that kitty.
Thank you.
No.
He's pics of me up. Thank you, Casual.
Yep. Yep, we know it. All right, I think I have one more. It's getting a little bit late, but I think we can run one more video. Let me see what else we got here. Hold on. I think we can run one more. Let's see what else we got. Here we go. Pink Fairy's grocery haul from Aldi. Let's see the junk that she got. This is always interesting, any kind of grocery haul.
About to channel. It is Friday. We went to the grocery, Walmart and Aldi. So
Walmart.
I'll show you guys
The
what
Walmart.
it is. So we got toothpaste, body wash,
Toupee?
oyster crackers,
Oh, not a problem. Very cute kitty.
4 pot roasts. Found them on pot roast seasoning. Found them on sale.
Oh, okay.
Yay!
So there's a lot of belief in that.
And now Aldi's the main haul.
Pink Fairy, Pink Fairy.
Well, these are
1,
from
2,
Walmart,
3. Come on, let's
that's
get
okay.
fancy, fancy.
Okay, we got some.
Oh, thank you. You know what I'm talking about.
Bags of cheese, mozzarella,
Walmart.
Pepper Jack, some fruit and cream oats.
All right, so let's cover this. So pepper jack cheese, all right, that's fine. Oatmeal, that's fine. Napkins, those are low in calories.
Some napkins.
Nackins, some neckins.
Raisin bun.
Raisin bun.
Got 2 bags of these restaurant style chips. They had them on sale for $1.49.
Restaurant style chips.
So I got 2 of them. 2 bags of broccoli.
Broccoli's can't go wrong with that.
2 cottage cheeses. These I always pick up 2. Half and a half.
Cottage cheese is actually healthy, but half and half that's a bad choice. No, violation on the play. Half and half, bad choice when you want to lose weight.
Some red bag chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets, probably not the best choice.
Baby carrots, make it roast tomorrow. I'll show you guys. As you hit, I got the pot roast seasoning. Salsa, best salsa ever.
Salsa is actually a good choice. It's generally low in calories because it's just chopped vegetables.
Whipped cream cheese spread.
Cream cheese spread, very, very bad choice.
2 packs of hot dogs.
Hot dogs, also a terrible choice. Hot dogs in general are a bad choice. Hot dogs, I mean, I'm not going to say you can never have any, but I strongly suggest not making hot dogs a regular part of your diet.
Some more chili powder. I'm trying to fill up my big thing up here.
Chili powder is perfectly fine. No calories there.
Oh, well.
All right, turkey sausage. Even though it's turkey, it's still basically all fat. I can't really recommend turkey sausage unless it's low fat.
2 of the turkeys, they had these on sale too for $1.79 or something. They're normally 2 something, so I think I got
that's fair. Fresh salsa is better.
5 turkey pepperonis because last time I made that, I was like, I'm grinding them.
That's fair.
4
Fresh
cans of
salsa is better.
SpaghettiOs, bananas.
Okay, canned spaghetti. Canned spaghetti is one of those things where if you're worried about like the power going out or you have a hurricane or something, sure, it's good to have some of that in the closet. But that shouldn't be a regular part of your diet.
2 of the chicken noodles, 2 cream.
All right, cream of chicken. Chicken noodle. Chicken noodle soup is not the worst thing in the world. But cream of chicken soup, if you're not aware, there's no actual milk in there. There's no actual cream. It's just condensed oil. That's all it is. It's hydrogenated oil. So do not buy cream of chicken, cream of mushroom, any of that canned cream of anything soup. It's terrible stuff. It's just condensed oil in there. I mean, read the label if you don't believe me. And if it tastes good, all right, fine. If it tastes good, you like it, whatever. But if you want to get soup, get the kind that does not have the quote unquote cream in it.
Of chicken. I want to make a chicken casserole because I ain't made one in a while. And they had these marked down, not $1 too. Had these marked down.
Well, I guess when I say low fat, I guess I mean reduced fat. Reduced fat. You know, it's still going to be pretty fatty. But I mean, not the sausage, because some of that sausage is always like 80, 90% fat. That's the stuff I'm saying to avoid. But that's a fair point. I don't mean low fat, but reduced
cheese
fat.
Cubes, Colby Jack ones. 2 cans of soup, the chicken. Fine china bowls. I only got me one of these because I still got some of there from 2 weeks ago. So, oven roasted turkey breast.
All right, turkey breast. Not the worst choice, but that's processed turkey breast, so I'm not a huge fan. Yogurt, drinks. There's a lot of sugar mixed in with those, but I generally like yogurt as being healthy. But these have a pretty high sugar content, unfortunately.
And animal smoothies, strawberry. That's all we got. That's all we need. We didn't mean meat, none of that stuff. We got plenty of chicken.
You know what? That was actually, compared to Foodie, that was actually not that bad. Like compared to Foodie's grocery hauls, this was really not so bad. Yeah, there was some stuff in there that was not so good, but still was better than Foodie's grocery hauls.
And all that good stuff. I still need to go to Kroger's, get my pop, but I ain't doing that today. I'll probably do that tomorrow. And I like to go down and buy Dollar Tree because I ain't been.
That looks like pepperoni back there, doesn't it? I don't think she covered everything.
Dollar Tree and jeez, who knows when? A long time. Didn't get eggs because they're almost $5 for 12 a dozen. I am not getting them. So hopefully the farmer down the road will have some, and they've been telling they're still for $2. So that ain't bad at all. I didn't think.
Yeah, it's pepperoni. Hold on a second. So she left that out. Six packages of pepperoni. She just conveniently left that out. All the food we bought. Oh yeah, and these 6 packages of crappy pepperoni. That's all fat. That's the worst thing you could buy. All right, well, I take back what I said about the grocery haul. 6 packages of crappy pepperoni will ruin any grocery haul. All right, and with that, I think I am going to say goodnight now. And we're going to have the special in about 2 weeks, I think. We're going to do the special. A week and a half, whatever. The Saturday after this Saturday. Tomorrow, I'm going to be visiting Mom. And I will see you folks next Wednesday. Or maybe I'll see you around before then in somebody else's chat or something. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. All right. Let's put on the music. And start walking you out. Good night, folks. You've been an awesome audience. Nirvana recommends original Jalna Greek yogurt. Have a great night, Fallen Angel. Thank you so much. Awesome audience. Thank you to Nirvana. I'll send Mom the nice wishes. Thank you so much. Alizu, welcome back. Good to see you, Alizu. Good night to everybody. Yep, absolutely. Please, everyone, be sure to like up that stream. Oh, no worries, Otanky. That's what replays are for, right? And I'll be doing a special in a week and a half, and I'll be back next week. So, hey, we'll get another chance. Good night, Tucker and friends. Good night, Takes the Cake. Good night, everybody. If I missed anyone coming in, my apologies, but I'm on my way out. So I will say good night to everybody. Been a fantastic audience. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed the show. I tried to cover some different people tonight, expand the subjects, mix it up. All right, everyone. Be blessed. Good night.